Hello and welcome. Today's yoga is an easygoing flow that's designed to leave you feeling stretched from head to toe. So when you're ready, we'll get started. So today we're going to start lying down, so however you feel most comfortable. No great rush to get there if you want to move through anything beforehand. And when you do get onto your back, you can just be completely still, you can have a bit of a move around. Whatever feels nice to you. Just taking a moment to settle in and just notice what's going on in the body, in the mind. Don't have to change anything, just try to notice what's there. And then when you're ready, we're going to come to lie flat on your back, so sending the feet down towards the bottom of the mat, reaching the hands up towards the top, and just going for a full body stretch, so reaching through the fingers, pointing through the toes, stretching through the belly. And if the spine starts to reach up off the floor, that's fine, just so long as it doesn't feel like it's pinching anywhere, and if it does, just pressing the tummy down and softening the spine down to the floor. From here, just softening through the body, letting yourself relax, and then walking the hands and feet over towards the left side of the mat to come into this curvy banana shape. And all we're aiming for here is a nice lengthening through the right side of the body. It doesn't have to be crazy intense, but if you do feel like you need a little bit more, you can cross the right ankle over the left. You can hold onto the right wrist with the left hand and then just gently pull on the right arm just to increase the stretch a little. Here we want to try and keep both shoulders, both hips on the floor. And you can pretend that you're just using the right lung to breathe so that the ribs expand on that side and you get a nice stretch. From here, we're going to walk the hands and feet all the way over to the other side, so over to the right corners of your mat. Just start to stretch through the left side of the body. And again, nothing too intense, but if you do need a little bit more, crossing the left ankle over the right and gently pulling on the left wrist. Again, just taking your time to settle here. Both hips, both shoulders on the floor. Taking some nice deep breaths into the tummy, into the left lung, just gently lengthening through the left side of the body. From here, we'll come all the way back to centre. And just go for that full body stretch again, so reaching through the fingers, pointing through the toes, big breaths into the belly. And then just relaxing everything down to the floor, bringing the knees up towards the chest, giving them a little squeeze in. And then next we'll come up into a seated position, so it's up to you how you get there. If you want to rock and roll along the length of the spine, if you just want to roll over to one side, use the arms to help you get up. Whatever feels most fun to you. And then just choosing any seated position that feels nice to you. If you want to sit on something, lean against something, just whatever you need to help you feel tall. Take a moment to settle in. And then when you're ready, just gently drawing the tummy in just to help you lift the ribcage away from the pelvis. Soften the shoulders down. Then from here we're going to drop the chin down towards the chest, stretching through the back of the neck. Just take a moment to pause here. We want to be isolating the stretch just to the back of the neck. So again, drawing the tummy in to keep your spine long so that you don't collapse into the belly and kind of hunch over. Taking another breath here. Then on your next inhale, we're going to roll the left ear over towards the left shoulder, And gently stretch through the right side of the neck. Just like our banana stretch on the floor, it doesn't have to be too intense, but if you do feel like you want a little bit more, gently pulling down on the right shoulder. Take another couple of breaths here. Still lifting up out of the hips. And then on your next exhale, we're going to roll the chin back down towards the chest. And then as you inhale, rolling the right ear over towards the right shoulder. Taking a moment to pause here. And again, finding the right stretch for you. Doesn't have to be crazy intense. But if you do need a little more, just gently pulling down on the left shoulder. Just gently stretching all the way from the ear through the neck. And maybe into that left shoulder a little. From here, we're going to keep that moving. So as you exhale, we're going to roll the chin down towards the chest. Inhaling, left ear to the left shoulder. Keeping that going. Exhaling, chin to chest. And then over to the right shoulder as you inhale. So just keeping that going with your own breath, at your own pace. Still trying to be long through the spine. We'll just go for one more each side. And on your next exhale, chin coming down. And then as you inhale, lifting the chin, sitting up tall, maybe having a little shake out if you need it. And then finding your way into a tabletop, so onto your hands and knees. No rush, take your time to settle in. And then when you're ready, bringing the hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Toes can be tucked or pointed, whatever feels more comfortable to you. Here, lifting the chest away from the floor, wrapping the shoulders round, gently drawing the tummy in. And then we'll go for some cat-cow. So as you inhale, tilting the pelvis forward, dropping the belly down, pulling the chest through the arms and looking on up. As you exhale, tilting the pelvis back, drawing the tummy in towards the spine, letting the head fall down and pressing the back up towards the ceiling. Keeping that going, inhaling, coming into your cow pose. Exhaling to move back. We'll keep that going for a couple more rounds, so moving with your own breath and just trying to initiate each movement with the tilting forward and back of the pelvis. And then just letting that movement make its way up your spine and into your head. Last one. Taking your time with it. And then once you're finished, just coming back into a neutral tabletop, taking a moment to shake it out. And then when you're ready, bring the big toes together, sending the hips back and coming into your child's pose. Take a moment to soften here, maybe have a little sway side to side. Trying to let the head and the neck relax. And then from here, we're going to come from our child's pose through our tabletop and into our cobra. If that sounds like it's going to be too much for your back straight away, then feel free to either come into your tabletop and go through a few more cat-cows, or just stay in your child's pose, just whatever feels best to you right now. So, if you're going to come into your cobra, reaching the hands forward, pressing into the knuckles, and then as you inhale, rounding on up through your tabletop, and as you exhale, softening the hips down. They don't have to come all the way, but stay pressing up out of the shoulders. As you inhale, lifting the hips. Exhale back into your child's pose. We'll go for a couple more rounds, moving with your own breath. And if you find that you need to shift the knees a little bit, just pressing into the tops of the feet, lifting the knees an inch, and then settling them back down. We'll go for one more, forward and back. And As you lower into your cobra, squeezing the glutes, pressing the hips forward. And then settling back into your child's pose. Taking a moment to pause. And then when you're ready, finding your way up into your downward dog. No rush to get there if you want to come through your tabletop again, maybe another cobra, plank. When you do get to your downward dog, taking a moment to settle in, maybe having a pedal through the legs, roll through the feet. And then when you're ready, settling in, coming to stillness, pressing back from the hands, wrapping the shoulders round so it feels like the armpits are starting to face one another, hugging the lower ribs in, pressing down through the heels even if they're not touching the floor. And then from here, we'll press into the left foot. Inhale, right foot going high into your three-legged dog. As you exhale, sending that knee forward and stepping through into a lunge. Taking a moment to land, have a little rock around. And then dropping the back knee, keeping the back toes tucked or pointing through the foot. See what feels more comfortable. And here, just giving your shoulders a little bit of space, so maybe having a shake out through the arms. Squeezing through the glutes, pressing the hips forward so you stretch through the top of that left thigh. From here, we'll press into the left hand. Inhale, right hand sweeping up, twisting around to the right side. Here, pressing into all four corners of that front foot, keeping the knee in line with the ankle so it's not rolling out or rolling in. Reaching up through those right fingertips. And then on your next exhale, bringing the right hand down. And then as you inhale, sweeping left hand high and twisting round to this side. And here, trying to focus on keeping that left hip square so that you're not twisting through the knee, but you're just twisting from the waist, opening up across the shoulders. Then as you exhale, left hand coming down. Then from here, tucking the back toes, lifting the back knee, setting up for your high lunge, so pressing through the feet, squeezing through the legs. Then as you inhale, lifting on up. Take a moment to pause here, settle in. And again, trying to keep this front knee in line with the toes so it's not rolling out, rolling in. You've got a nice strong base. And then on your next inhale, we're going to reach the fingertips high. Maybe lengthen through that front leg, maybe keep it bent. Exhale, right hand back, left hand forward, twisting round to the right side. Keeping that going. Inhale to lift. Exhale to twist. Once more, all the way up. And then as you exhale, twisting round, we'll come to pause for a moment. So reaching those hands in opposite directions, trying to bring the ribcage back over the pelvis. It's okay to be a little bit forward, but really getting into that twist by bringing the ribcage back. On your next inhale, lifting all the way back up. And then as you exhale, twisting the back heel round and coming into your warrior two. So here, lining up the front heel with the arch of the back foot, pressing into that outside edge of the back foot, reaching hands apart, ribcage over pelvis, bending into that front knee. From here, as you inhale, lengthening through that front leg, reaching hands high, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, coming back to your warrior two. Keeping that going. Inhale to lift. Exhale to soften. Last one, all the way up. Filling the belly up with breath. And then exhaling, coming back to your warrior two. Taking a moment to pause, floating those hands away. Bending a little bit more into that front knee, still pressing into the outside edge of the back foot. And then as you inhale, spinning on the back toes, coming back through your high lunge. And then as you exhale, hands coming down, framing the front foot and stepping back into a plank. Taking a moment to get comfortable. If you want to bring one knee down, both knees down, whatever works for you, whatever makes it fun. But lifting up out of the shoulders, drawing the tummy in. And as you inhale, rocking forward, exhale, lowering down, hugging the elbows in. Then once you've landed, untucking the toes, pressing tops of feet into the floor, setting up for your cobra. Inhaling, rolling on up, squeezing through the glutes, lengthening through the lower spine and the tummy. And then exhale, lowering back down. From here, finding your way back to your downward dog. There's no rush to get there if you want to come through anything on the way. And just like before, taking a moment to settle in. Whatever you need to do, pedal through the legs, shake through the shoulders. But again, finding that nice supported position, wrapping the shoulders round, sending the hips back, pressing through the heels. And then we'll go for that on the other side. So pressing into the right foot, inhale, left foot high into your three-legged dog. As you exhale, sending that knee forward and stepping through into a lunge. Taking your time to readjust, to settle in. And then when you're ready, dropping that back knee, back toes tucked or pointed. And again, just finding a little bit of space around the shoulders, maybe having a shake through the arms, through the head. And then coming to stillness, pressing the hips forward, engaging through the glutes, stretching through that the top of the right thigh. And then pressing into the right hand, inhaling, left hand sweeping up. Again, checking in with that front knee, pressing into all four corners of the front foot, opening up across the chest, reaching through those left fingertips. Then as you exhale, left hand coming down, and inhaling, right hand high. Pausing on this side, pressing down with that right hip, still squeezing through the legs. Feeling like you've got space across the shoulders, across the back. And as you exhale, right hand coming down. From here, tucking the back toes, lifting the back knee, taking a moment to set up your foundations for your high lunge, so pressing through those feet, squeezing through the legs, inhaling, lifting on up. Taking a moment to pause, to settle in, sending that front knee in the same direction as the toes. And then from here, as you inhale, we're going to lift up through the spine, maybe lengthening through that front leg, maybe keeping it bent. And exhale, left hand back, right hand forward, twisting to the left side. Keeping that going. Inhaling to lift, filling the belly up. Exhale to twist. Once more, all the way up. Then as you exhale, twisting round, we'll pause this time, pressing down through that back heel, reaching the hands apart, drawing the rib cage back, softening through the shoulders. And then as you inhale, coming up through center, and then as you exhale, spinning that back heel round and finding your way into a warrior two. Take a moment to soften, reach those hands apart. Trying to bring the ribcage over the pelvis so you're not leaning all the way forward. And then from here, as you inhale, reaching the hands up, lengthening through that front leg, standing tall. And exhale, coming back into warrior two. A few more like that. Inhale to lift. Exhale, bending into that front knee, still pressing through the outside edge of that back foot. One more. All the way up, filling the belly up with breath. And exhale, softening back to your warrior two. Taking a moment to pause here. Opening up through the hips, across the chest. And then on your next inhale, spinning round on that back foot, coming back through your lunge. Exhale, hands coming down and stepping back into a plank. Take a moment to pause, get comfy if it means one knee down, both knees down. but lifting up out of the shoulders, separating the shoulder blades, drawing the tummy in. And then as you inhale, rocking forward, shoulders over fingertips. Exhale, lowering down, trying to land the chest, belly, hips all at the same time. And then untucking the toes, setting up for your cobra, inhaling, rolling on up, hugging the elbows in, rolling the shoulders down, squeezing through the glutes. And exhale, all the way back down. From here, finding your way back into your downward dog, coming through anything on the way. And again, just taking a moment to settle in. And then when you're ready, coming to stillness, pressing through the hands, hugging the tummy in. And then pressing into the left foot this time. Inhale, right foot going high into your three-legged dog. As you exhale, sending that knee towards the right wrist, landing the shin, and starting to settle into your pigeon pose. So however feels comfortable through the hips here, you can roll into that right hip a little, bring that left knee further forward. You can square the hips towards the front of the mat. Have back toes tucked or pointed. Just see what feels right for you. Then when you're ready, bring the hands out in front of you. Inhaling, lifting up tall. And then exhale, starting to fold over that front leg. It's up to you how far down you come. If you want to let the head soften down, if you want to stay up on the forearms, up on the hands a little. All we're aiming for here is a nice stretch through the hips. And just finding a little bit of softness. Where you can relax, you can release tension. And here you can add a little sway side to side if that feels good. You can just close the eyes, be completely still. And if you find that it starts to become quite intense in the hips, just find a way to modify it. If it means rolling into that right hip, bringing a block or a cushion underneath the hips, just make it your own, make it feel good. From here, we're going to start to walk the hands back in towards the hips, lifting the chest, and then rolling into that right hip so that you can swing that left leg around to come into your Lord of the Fishes pose. So here you can bring that left foot over the right knee, you can bring the right foot out in front of you, you can uncross that left foot. See what feels comfortable to you, where you can feel both sit bones pressing into the floor. From here, taking a moment to sit tall, soften through the shoulders, and then just bringing the left hand next to the left hip. Inhaling, right hand going high. And as you exhale, bringing the elbow down to the knee and twisting round to the left. And here you can keep the right hand lifted, you can reach it down towards the floor, you can bring the knee into the elbow crease. See what feels nice through the shoulders for you. And just trying not to put too much weight into that left hand. It's just there to encourage you to sit tall through the spine. Then with each inhale, you're creating space in the belly, feeling the tummy press into the thigh. And then as you exhale, drawing the tummy into the spine and maybe twisting round a little bit further. From here, we'll come all the way back to the front, unraveling, having a shake out if you need it, and then starting to find your way back into a downward dog. However you want to get there, if you want to come through a tabletop, if you want to come back through your pigeon, whatever feels nice through the body. And again, taking your time to settle in, find that strong position, use the arms and the legs to lift you. And then we'll press into the right foot, inhaling, left foot going high into your three-legged dog. As you exhale, sending that knee towards the left wrist, landing the shin, and finding your way into your pigeon pose. Again, take your time. It might be different on this side. You might have more space, less space. So just find whatever position works best for you, feels good through the hips. Then when you're ready, bringing the hands out in front of you, taking an inhale, sitting tall, and then as you exhale, starting to fold forward. And just finding whatever position works for you. If it means coming completely flat, letting the head rest down. If it means staying up on the forearms, up on the hands. One position isn't better than any of the others. It's just whatever feels right to you today. And again, you can add a little sway side to side if that feels good through the hips. And you can always change if it becomes too intense or just not the sensation you want. Have a little explore, go slowly, and just find the right position to you. From here, starting to walk the hands back in towards the hips. You need to sit tall. And then rolling into that left hip. We'll swing that right leg around and coming into your Lord of the Fishes pose on this side. So again, you can go for this raveled up sort of position. You can bring that left leg forward, uncross the right leg. Whatever feels nice through the hips for you, through the knees. Feel both sit bones pressing into the floor. And then when you're ready, bring that right hand just behind the right hip. Then as you inhale, lifting left hand high, lengthening through the spine. And exhale, bring the elbow down and starting to twist round. And again, find the right position for your arm, for your shoulders. If you want to keep the hand up, reach it down to the floor. Just wrap that elbow around the knee. And you want the majority of your twist coming from your waist, so you're using the muscles around the tummy to lift and turn you. You can use the arm a little to kind of hinge you round, but just see what feels right through the shoulders. Staying lifted through the spine, maybe looking over that back shoulder if it feels nice through the neck. And then when you're ready, coming back through center, taking a moment to shake it out, to unravel, and then finding your way back into your downward dog. Again, coming through anything on the way. We're just going to pause in our downward dog just for a moment. So feel strong, feel lifted through the arms and the legs. And then from here, we're going to drop the knees down. Bring the big toes together. Knees can be as close together or as wide apart as you like for us to settle into your child's pose. Just finding a nice position for you, maybe closing the eyes. You can keep the hands reaching forward, tuck them in, maybe bring them into a pile for the forehead. You can wrap them around the legs. And if you can, just closing the eyes for a moment. Just bringing your awareness inwards. Maybe noticing the breath or particular sensations in the body. You don't have to change anything or label it as good or bad. Just try to notice what's there. Staying here for a few more breaths, seeing if there's any more tension that you could release. Stay here for as long as you like, but when you're ready, just starting to walk the hands in towards the hips, keeping the eyes closed if you can. And then you can stay kneeling if that feels comfortable. You can move into a different seated position. You can sit on a block, lean the lower back against something. However you feel comfortable, however you feel like you can sit tall. Just taking a moment, floating the rib cage up away from the pelvis, softening through the shoulders, lifting the chin. And then we'll finish off with 3 big breaths. So on your next inhale, reaching the hands all the way out, all the way up above you, filling the belly up with breath. And then exhaling, hands floating down, past the face, past the chest, and back into the lap. A couple more. Big inhale. Lifting the ribcage away from the pelvis, lengthening through the spine. And exhaling, hands softening down, shoulders relaxing, but keeping the length you've just created in the body. Last one, biggest one yet. Really stretching through the fingers, taking up space, maybe taking an extra sip of air in at the top. And then exhaling, hands floating down. Maybe blinking the eyes open as they pass the face. And there we go. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you can go about the rest of your day feeling a little taller, and I'll see you next time.